How are you guys? It's Muddsy here from Muay Thai Interviews again. And my next guest, he helps promote Muay Thai Fight for Life campaign. It's a suicide awareness and mental health project which works with Shine a Light in Cork Island and Lifeline in Western Australia. He has helped raise over $12,000 between the two countries, and there is also a 4-part documentary about this cause out on YouTube with 3 parts already out, and a 4th is set to be released later on in April this year. I'm joined by Paul Smithers. Paul, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, Mudgy. Thanks for having me on, mate. Appreciate it.
No, mate. Thanks for reaching out to me and wanting to have a chat, mate. It looked like a good cause, and I'm happy to get on board and lend a helping hand wherever there is necessary, mate. Spread the word and get it out there,
Cheers, man. Much appreciated.
mate. So, how long has this campaign been going on for, and what made you want to get involved?
Well, I suppose we officially launched it maybe 3 years ago. Actually, it was actually 3 years today that we held our first four-man eliminator, which is the four-man that appears in episode 1. The first part of the documentary was 3 years ago today, but there was probably a year of preparation that went into getting it ready before that. So maybe 4 years. I suppose I got involved in it. I kind of stumbled across the sport of Muay Thai myself in 2011. I just lost one of my best mates, not through suicide. It was an overdose, but I suppose I was in a mourning process. I was living in Australia at the time. I was going back to Ireland for Christmas to see my daughter. And I knew these Muay Thai camps existed in Thailand. I'd never done Muay Thai or knew nothing about it. I'd never even boxed as a kid. I had no experience. Basically, I just wanted to go somewhere to clean up. After my mate died, I was on the bear every day. And I was probably suicidal myself at times in that period. So I stopped off at the town boxing gym on my way home to Ireland, and just a week's Muay Thai training it's put me from the depths of despair to where I left after the end of the week, just feeling $1 million. And I suppose my love for the sport started then. Yeah, the idea kind of came later on, a couple of years later, I suppose. I've been dealing with my own mental health, and suicide is an epidemic back home. I'd be losing mates, and it was kind of getting closer and closer to home. And I was there one night, and I was thinking, shit, man, this might happen to me. You know what I mean? Even though I suppose I was more afraid of suicide than I was of cancer. And obviously, suicide's in your own hands, cancer's not. But I was kind of feeling like, shit, these people can't be feeling worse than I feel when I'm feeling it. You know what I mean? But they've obviously had the moment, the weakness, and went that step beyond. After the first camp I had in Thailand, I'd started to frequent it, where I'd come back to work, my mental health would start deteriorating again, drinking, eating shit, but I suppose I kind of knew that I had Thailand there as a reset button, where like I knew no matter how bad things got, that if I went to Thailand and trained for a couple of weeks, that it would, as I said, it was like a reset button. It would just give me mental clarity to cut myself on. Your diet instantly improves. I suppose you're getting an endorphin release, which I suppose gives you the feel good factor. But that's what I was getting from my own mental health, and I suppose I just wanted to kind of share it. I'd heard another mate had committed suicide one night, and I just felt that if I'd had the chance to take him to Thailand for 2 weeks and put him into a camp, maybe that he wouldn't have done it. I kind of felt helpless, obviously. When your mates are dying, you just wish maybe I could have rang him on if I had done this or if I had done that. So I suppose I come up with the idea. My original idea was to run a short story competition of people that have been affected by mental health or suicide. Maybe a friend had died or something like that. And I also, like, I don't have the discipline to obviously take the sport to the next level. I kind of use it more for a mental health release. And I also wanted the chance to maybe like take a young talented Irish fighter to Thailand.
Yep.
So my original idea was to coincide a story competition with a four-man eliminator, and take the winner of the four-man eliminator and the winner of the story competition, bring them to Thailand, see till I get it, record it all on a documentary, and basically trying to promote awareness. So I suppose, yeah, that's how I got into it, and that's probably where the idea come from.
Yeah, right. Now, mate, I just wanted to actually ask you a question about that. When you said that, you know, you were suffering through a bit of depression and at times feeling a little bit suicidal with yourself, did you ever get put did you ever go to the doctor and get put on any medication or anything? Sort of where I'm going with this question is, because if you did, I've noticed like a lot of people through sports and exercising and like you said yourself, you found through Muay Thai that it actually made you feel better. Like, I suppose what I'm sort of asking is, did you ever get put on any medication, and then did you realise once you were doing Muay Thai and that you loved that you didn't really need it?
No, I actually didn't, and to be honest, a lot of the friends that I've lost had been, a lot of them, like a very high percentage of friends that I'd lost would have been people that would have been messing about with these tablets that doctors prescribe you anyway. I'd be a big advocate, I don't know if advocate the right word, but I wouldn't be too fond of the pharmaceutical industry and how doctors are dishing out these tablets and people become dependent on them.
Yeah.
It's never an avenue I've went down. Look, everyone's different. I know people and I've read about people that have been helped that way, but I suppose I never needed that. And my own depression and anxiety it's an ongoing thing, you know what I mean? It's one of the things I've learned through the project. Everyone has mental health. Your mental health will fluctuate. A doctor and prescribed medicine might be the right thing for some people, but I've got a bit of an addictive personality myself, so I think it's just something that I'd sooner steer clear of. The whole I wouldn't like to become dependent on any medicine.
Yeah, it's probably be good for the short term, but not for the long term.
Each to their own. As I said, there's people who probably vouch for it, but as I said, I have an addictive personality, and I don't think it would be something that that would help me personally. But luckily, through Muay Thai, I found my own release. You know.
It sounds like Muay Thai is your drug of choice, and that's a pretty good drug, I'd say.
That's the one, buddy. Yeah.
Now, buddy, now you were talking about your 3-part documentary series. I did watch them, and particularly in the first part, there were some facts that was put out about suicide, and that I got. So I'd just like to share some of these facts and statistics with some of the listeners. Up to 600 people die by suicide in Ireland each year. In 2012, Australia had 1,901 males and 634 female deaths by suicide. That equals 2,535, and that's an average of almost 7 people a day dying by suicide. Ireland has the 4th highest suicide rate among young people in Europe. More than half of young people surveyed say that they do not tell their parents when they are being victims of cyberbullying. Childline UK reported cyberbullying rose 87% in 2013 compared to the previous year. Suicide is the leading cause of death for Aussies between the ages of 15 and 44. That was as of 2015. There's some quite alarming statistics, actually.
Yeah, I suppose one of the main focuses on the documentary as well was to kind of to tackle the direct link between bullying and youth suicide. I'd watched a video online, a little short clip online about some lad speaking about his own bullying experiences, and they gave the story of how some other young kid had taken their own life. Kind of with cyberbullying and bullying's obviously been going on for years and years, and it probably continue to go on, but I'd say like years ago, before we had the internet, if someone was getting bullied at school, they could go home and it would be over maybe until the next day, but at least they could get away from it. But with social media and the way things are today, there's no escaping it. Like someone's getting bullied, it can follow them home. So I suppose one of the ideas was to get the documentary out there to show people that there's places that you can go that are bully-free zones. I've trained in gyms all over Australia and trained in gyms in Ireland, and I've never come across bullying in any gym. Far from it, I suppose more just to try to maybe encourage kids to get down to these gyms not I suppose to teach them how to fight, which obviously would protect them anyway, but more of just a confidence builder. That if you were getting bullied at home or cyberbullying, more kind of like a big brother thing, where you're down the gym, if you're training with the likes of Toby Smith or even Mickey O'Grady or any of these lads, and you've got some snotty little kid at school or someone's picking at you on the internet, you have people that you can go to. You might want to confide in your parents or a teacher, but I'm sure you go into a gym and one of the senior members, like if you're being bullied, they'd listen to you. So there's a lot of uses for the Muay Thai gym, obviously from my own mental health point of view, but from a bullying point of view as well. I think gyms are a great place, especially Muay Thai gyms with the respect element in the sport.
Yeah.
So that was another kind of angle that I wanted to tackle through the documentary.
Yep, and also I know there's a gym in Perth called Diesel Gym in Joondalup. They do specifically like anti-bullying campaigns and little seminars and for students and kids when they're on school holidays. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that they do. I think that's run by Frankie Degum and Jason Lee.
Yeah, fair play to him. I know Gary O'Dean in Bunbury. Gary actually had us on his show, which will be in the forepart of the documentary. I trained at Gary's gym when I was working in Bunbury. I was actually training in Gary's gym when I actually come up with the idea for Muay Thai Fight for Life. I didn't know at the time the work that Gary was involved in, but Gary was a huge supporter of the project from the start. I know he's hands-on the ground, dealing with these issues in Bunbury as well. I think the whole Western Australian Muay Thai community really grasped the concept of what I was trying to do. I was living in WA myself at the time. I trained with Carly Crawford from the Thai boxing pit in Batong Stadium gym. I was there 2 years and she was there for the same time, both years, and my daughter looks up to her and idolised her, so Carly kind of helped get the pit involved with our original promo video.
I saw that, yep.
And yeah, I just suppose the Muay Thai community in WA in particular really grasped what we were trying to do, and their support was fantastic. So yeah, credit to Muay Thai WA.
Awesome, dude. Now, in order to raise money for this very worthy cause, a while ago, which you did touch on, and we can talk about that now, is you held a 4-man 68 kilogram tournament with the winner getting a paid 1 month training trip. Pardon my English there. Training trip to Thailand. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, like I was saying, basically, I wanted to run the story competition. I'd managed to get on to Shine a Light, who were happy to back the idea, but they just didn't think it was practical. That they said if I ran the story competition and we picked a winner and he'd gone to Thailand and committed suicide, then after it would put a bad light in the whole lot. So we kind of really lost out. And the funding as well, we just kind of didn't get the funding to actually run it. Now, if we did run it like that, you'd need counsellors and things. It would have been basically I was funding the whole lot myself through various fundraisers and through my own work as well, and just investing my own money in it. So basically, we lost the short story competition, but we were still able to go ahead with from the Muay Thai point of view. So I contacted my daughter's coach, Derek O'Flynn from Cobra Thai in Cork City. Spoke to him about the idea, and he said he was happy to promote a four-man eliminator on his show, and that he'd cover the flights for the winner. And we ended up last minute. We ended up being able to take the two finalists in the end. So from a Muay Thai point of view, I just wanted to, as you know, or anyone that trains in the sport knows, it's a full-time job training for a fight, and especially with younger people back home, Thailand is so far away. So if you're committed to training for a fight, you mightn't have the time to put in the work, employment-wise, to get the money to get to Thailand. So I really wanted to give a young fighter a chance to get over and experience the Thailand way of training.
Well, I think the fact that you gave the winner a trip to Thailand to experience that was probably a lot more valuable than just giving out a cash prize. From the documentaries, they seem to really love it.
Yeah. 3 years later, and I think the trip to Thailand, it was amazing, man. Just from the people that actually went, how well we all gelled together, and what everyone took from it. I know Mickey went back and won an Irish title a few months after he got back. It was great. I suppose when we lost the short story competition, I involuntarily ended up becoming the kind of mental health ambassador. Through the documentary, I hadn't really intended on actually being in the documentary, the Thailand part of it myself, but the camera crew they knew that I was suffering from my own mental health. I actually had a mental breakdown in Thailand not long before the boys came over. Just the pressures of everything kind of got to me, and I'd had a bit of a breakdown. So even in my own, you can see through the documentary, my own weight dropped, and just my own mental clarity improved. I think if you kind of look in part two, we had a chest waxing night. And
yeah, I saw that.
I had the weight of the world on my shoulders there, and I can see it in my own face, and you can just compare that to maybe some of the interviews towards the end of part three, and it's just, it's visible. It's visible to myself. I think it's clearly visible how much my own mental health improved just through that month's training. So I suppose we still managed to get the message out.
You probably look like
mental health message out.
You probably look like you were more scared just before you're about to get your chest waxed than when you do just to jump in the ring.
The chest wax wasn't my first time getting it done. It's a bit of a noose. I wasn't even going to do it that night. I thought, I get the boys to do it, but I got back and I got roped into it at the last minute. But that fundraiser ended up costing me money. I'd lost a job in London. I'd lost the course that the job had paid for. We'd come back. We didn't raise as much money as we thought we would. So I done it as a fundraiser, and just obviously I was in London trying to balance a job. I won't get into a big thing here, but like when I first had the idea for the documentary, I contacted a different suicide awareness charity, not Shine a Light, told them about it, said it was a great idea, but they didn't know what Thailand was about, so they asked me if I could make a little video diary, because I was going there that summer with my daughter.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a court order put in place that said I had to bring my daughter back after 3 weeks, and I decided to go against the court order, and part of my video diary, I ended up going off on a rant on father's rights, and I ended up basically keeping my daughter out there for 7 weeks, which is the trip that I originally intended. It was going to cost me $2,500 to change my flight, so I decided to keep her over there and tried to challenge the Irish government, which nearly ended up with a kidnap charge and me going to jail. At one stage I was actually going to drop the whole idea, but me and my daughter both fought in that trip, and the night before I fought, one of my mates that I'd been with New Year's Eve that year had had committed suicide the night before, and
Jesus.
I just seen it as a sign and just thought, fuck it, man, I'm going to go ahead with it. And it was actually the next day that I texted Eric O'Flynn from Cobra Thai with the idea, and I just seen it as a sign, and I just kind of rolled with it from there. But I got back, and as well as organising the foreman and the documentary, I was also dealing with a kidnap charge. That it was threatening that I was looking at one stage I was going to go to jail, but I ended up getting off with me a €2,500 fine. So while organising the show and the documentary and the trip to Thailand, I'm working to pay off this fine back home as well. So as I said, I ended up having a bit of a mental breakdown. When we got there in the end, everything was successful in the end, so where there's a will, there's a way, I suppose. Persistence.
Yeah, man, power to you. Now, what I wanted to ask was, how did you select the foreman for that tournament? Were you looking for anything in specifically when you had the matchups, or how did that all come about?
When I went to Derek, I kind of asked him. I wanted young fighters that had never had the chance that had never been to Thailand before. I think one of the lads, Robbie Drought, was actually training in Derek's gym. He was in his 30s, so Derek selected him, which was fine. He wanted a big promoter, so we had to kind of basically take what we got, and he obviously wanted one of his own gym's fighters in the foreman. So Scotty John was the other one. Scotty had been to Thailand before. He was in his 30s as well. Mickey and Barry were actually the two. They fitted every criteria that I was looking for. So when the draw took place on the night and paired the two of them in different fights, and then when the two of them got to the final, it was another thing that I just thought was fate. Taking nothing away from Robbie and Scotty John. Scotty's actually supported the whole. He was a constant support throughout the whole campaign. And it would have been. I actually offered Scotty, told him if he booked the flight over, he could fall in with us. But if I had to pick two from the four, it would have been Mickey and Barry. And sure enough, the two of them got through anyway. So that's what I was looking to give a young talented fighter that never had the chance to get to Thailand before, and that's luckily enough we got the two lads.
And you even jumped in the ring that night on the undercard. I think you fought one of your mates and you gave him an few extra kilos there.
We only found out that day. I was setting up the ring the night before. I drank 6 bottles of cider, and then I got the phone call the next morning. It was like, do you want to jump in with Emmett? We'd actually selected Emmett for the anti-bullying campaign, so we were going to bring him to Thailand with us anyway. So we said we'd go in for some tippy-tappy stuff, but got a bit heated in the middle of it. But it was good fun. Emmett's a good mate of mine, so it was all good fun.
And even your daughter also fought on the night. She fought a much older opponent, but she got the win that night. No doubt you would have been proud as punch.
Yeah, kind of. My daughter, Shauna, she's got a great work ethic. Whatever she does, whatever she's done inside the ring or outside of the ring, I'm kind of proud of her anyway. Just how she applies herself to things. One of the angles I was trying to cover. At the time, the youth system in Ireland was non-existent. There was no youth set up. I was addressing the fact, and I was kind of going to address it through the documentary. I think that upset a lot of people back home in the Muay Thai community. That they were saying, is this fella a troublemaker? Is he trying to make trouble? Which I wasn't. I was just looking from a father's point of view.
Yeah.
I think the November beforehand, my daughter had a fight pull on her the night before fight night. She'd been after a weight cut, and she was ringing me. I'm in Australia. She's ringing me crying. The fight's got pulled. I'll fight a boy. I'll fight a girl that's bigger than me. I just want to fight. There just wasn't the selection there. But we didn't cover it in the documentary. But thankfully, the powers that be back home have addressed it, and now Ireland's got, and Cork in particular, has got a thriving youth set up. We've got Jodie McCarthy. I think she's a multiple world champion. I think she's fought in Baton a couple of times. And not only Jodie, just you go back there now, and at the events that are being hosted, a lot of them are having kids kids competitions before the actual event, so I mightn't get any of the credit for it, but I've seen a growth in the youth setup back home, which I'm delighted with. I love the sport and I love my country as well, so it's just sitting from the outside looking in, I'm glad that it's been sorted. But I think Shauna was 15. I think the girl she fought was 23. Which is nothing I could have said was going to stop Shauna fighting. It was her own choice, and obviously she came up with the win. She'd been training hard, so proud of her as always, man. She's a good kid.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate, definitely. And in Australia, you have a very close relationship with the Riddler's Gym and the Thai Boxing Pit, both in Perth, WA, and they're both happy to jump on board for such a good cause. How did you establish the relationship with both those gyms?
Well, it was actually my mate Natasha. I'd spoke to my mate Natasha about organising a white collar Muay Thai Fight for Life event, and she had connections. She had connections with Riddler, so she's done that. That's where we actually got the funding to run the documentary. We kind of raised, I think it was $16,000. So I think it was 17,000. $8.5 went to Lifeline WA, and the $8.5 we got Shine Light were happy to give us to put into the documentary. And like I mentioned before, I'd met Carly Crawford in Phuket, and we'd struck up a friendship. My daughter idolised her. And when I was doing the original promo, I got on to Carly and just asked would the pit like to get involved. I was a huge fan of Toby Smith and Roy Wills anyway, so just when we have as a fan, when the lads got involved, it was a huge deal for me. We ended up in the last part of the documentary series that we actually filmed. We ended up taking the winner, Mickey and Barry, returned from Thailand and had a rematch. And we sponsored the winner to travel to Australia to Gary O'Dean's Respect Fight Night in Bunbury, and the pit took us both in as one of their own, and Blair came down to Bunbury with us on the night, and just training around your idols, man, and just even becoming, from them going from I suppose idols to friends, you know what I mean? It was probably one of the most fulfilling things that I've got from the project myself.
Yeah, that's because that was leading into my next question, but I think you just answered it. Because I was going to ask about Mickey O'Grady, the 4-man winner. I recently have seen him training and fighting out of Blair Smith's gym in the Pit WA. I was going to ask, is he living in Australia now, or was he only over just training, had a few fights, and now he's back in Ireland?
No, he's in Australia. I think in June. I think his visa's up in June. He's fought for the pit again. We fought in Bunbury, and he's fought for the pit again on the last domination show. And he'd made up his mind before the show that he was going to take a break out. I think he'd just been dedicated to the sport from such a young age, and he just wanted a few months or a year or whatever it is, just to be a real young fella and just to do whatever, just to let the hair down. He was on the wrong side of the result, I suppose, that night. And I'd love to see him back in the ring. I think if he does get back in, it'll definitely be the pit he trains at. I think he's a pit boy. As I said, whether he won or lost, he was going taking a break anyway. As he didn't get the result, I particularly would love to see him back in the ring, but I'm sure it'll come soon enough. He loves the sport and loves the pit. Hopefully to see Mickey back soon, man.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I hope so too, because I like watching him fight on your documentary, and I've seen a couple of his fights in WA, but they've always been good and exciting.
He's a bruiser, man. He hurts, like Mickey hurts. He's a tough kid, and outside the ring, he's just a cool guy as well. Just a nice fella. And Barry as well. The two lads, like they'd actually fought each other before travelling to Thailand, and there was no egos or issues. Like, you know what I mean? They struck up a friendship and then went back, and the rematch was full on. You know what I mean? So. credit to the both of them. Yeah, they're a credit to themselves and the sport and our country, man, and the project. I'm delighted to call both of them friends now as well, you know. So yeah, credit to both of them.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. And another thing I was keen to point out, or that I thought was pretty good, in episode 2 of Fight for Life, there was quite a big fella who featured on your doco who fought. And I heard him say 3 weeks out from his fight, he was 116 kilos, and come weigh-in, he got down to 102. What was his name? And I just wanted to publicly acknowledge that was a bloody good effort, because he was quite a big fella.
That's Emmett Dorgan. That's the lad that I had the spar with in part 1. Emmett Dorgan is his name. Yeah, I know he was bullied himself as a kid for his weight and things like that. So we picked him. We picked him to come. We were hoping to take him to Thailand with us.
He broke his arm, didn't he?
Yeah, he got hit by a taxi or something like that.
Yeah.
We ended up taking another young fella from his gym instead, but he was good enough to come on, and like you're brave to be able to go on and talk about these things on a camera, you know what I mean, and to share your story with everyone. So yeah, fair play to Emmett. I think he's still kind of in and out of the sport. I think it would have been a great experience, I think, if we'd actually got the chance to take him to Thailand, but it just wasn't to be.
Yeah. No, well, I just wanted to publicly acknowledge, when I heard that he lost all that weight within 3 weeks, I thought, good on you, mate.
Yeah, he walks out. Emmett walks out. When he's in the gym, he walks out. Yeah, it's just keeping him in the gym is the trouble. But I suppose the same with myself.
Yeah.
We can be swayed easily, partial to a bear.
Now, mate, one thing I wanted to bring up is while you and I were chatting over Facebook, you mentioned that this whole thing wasn't easy and it was quite draining on you at times. While the viewers only get to see the finished product, like of your documentaries and, you know, your fight nights and your trip in Thailand, what were some of the more challenging things you found when putting this whole thing together?
The fundraising, I suppose, definitely. People questioning your motives, like hearing whispers, he's fundraising to take himself to Thailand, or he wants to be in a documentary. I suppose just small talk. My heart is on my sleeve, man. Very honest, man. I don't usually think with my head, I think with my heart, which probably gets me into trouble. As I said, there was a kidnap case involved. Living in London, the project was going on in Ireland and in Australia. I was in London. I was losing jobs. I was organising fundraisers that weren't making money. As I said, I went to Thailand, I think, a couple of weeks before the lads got over. I'd hurt my neck clinching.
Yeah.
I think it was tramadol, man. I think that we'd gone to the doctor. I think he prescribed me 10 tramadol, but I'd got on the bear, and I'd woke up 3 days later, like my room's upside down, all the tramadols are gone, and I proper had it had all got to me at that stage. Like it was probably the hardest thing I'd ever done, especially since I got into it all with good intentions. And look, I don't want to come on here and slay at anyone, but I did lose. I lost a lot of support, and then I was just from back home, especially. I think the support I got, Shine a Light support me right through the lot, which meant a lot. But I just think maybe it was, as I said, I was trying to not create an angle, but I was trying to address the lack of a youth setup in the documentary. I think they might have heard that and maybe thought that I was looking to stir up trouble. So yeah, basically everything was kind of done by myself, and I'm trying to balance my own personal life at the same time, and I just kind of hit a wall with a lot of it just before the lads come over. As I said, once the boys come over and I clicked into Muay Thai mode, as I said, I went from rock bottom, from zero to hero in my own head anyway, but I think Muay Thai camps can do that.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you that, you know, no one's immune from mental health issues. I mean, did you hear about James Packer? That guy's a billionaire, got all the money in the world, but he ended up resigning from his own company due to his own mental and health issues going on. So it just shows you that no one's bulletproof.
one's bulletproof. It's actually funny that it's more of a first world kind of thing. I don't think it's so much of an epidemic over like in countries like Thailand. I don't know. Yeah, it's something that I think about a lot. We've got a famous footballer back home, Gary Speed. He was actually on Match of the Day, which is like as a football pundit, and went home that night and hung himself. And you'll be thinking he had everything. Professional footballer, he would have had money, the cars, job, whatever, you know. So, no, everyone has mental health, you know what I mean? It can be poor, obviously, a lot of people have solid mental health, but it's not like, it's not, I suppose, a certain set of people that will suffer. Anyone can suffer, no matter who you are, you can suffer from mental health issues, and I think maybe it's like, maybe in countries like Thailand, people would probably, they don't even get dole or gyro or like social benefit over here, so like they're probably looking at us thinking, what, if you don't work, your government is giving you free money and you're still not happy, you know. So it's a tricky one to think of, you know what I mean. I suppose I just wanted to use my own experience with mental health and to use that maybe as a way to try to help other people. It's not going to help everyone, but we kind of set out, especially I spoke to Natasha when we were doing the white collar night in Perth, if we could save one life, then it was a successful project, and I think we did. I think a lot of the white collar fighters from the night in Perth, a lot of them are still actually training Muay Thai now. They'd gone into it with no experience, and they all spoke via our blog of their own issues of losing friends and dealing with their own mental health. So we got a lot of stories out there, and we shared a lot. So yeah, I suppose looking back now, it was a successful project.
Yeah, and even like when I speak to trainers and stuff, and I ask like, what's some of your greatest achievements as a trainer, always in the top one or two. Their responses are, having someone walk into their gym with absolutely no experience, don't know how to throw a punch, throw a kick, and then 6 months later, 12 months later, whenever they go having their first fight to their fifth fight, fighting for a belt,
Yeah, I was that person. Yeah, everyone, I suppose. We're not like the Thais. A lot of us get into it later in life. When I do look back on my first class, I remember I couldn't skip, and I think I could hear people laughing at me in the background. So I tried to go faster, and I stubbed myself in the big toe with the big thick Thai skipping rope.
Yeah.
If I hadn't paid for my accommodation for the week, I would have dropped the skipping rope and walked off. But because I was paid for the week, I ended up staying, and I kind of noticed my own improvement by the end of the week, and just wanted to get better and better. And obviously, you get yourself to a stage then where you kind of feel competent to go in the ring. And yeah, I'm actually working at a gym in Thailand there now, kind of on a coaching level. We've got a couple of younger fellas here. I was here last year as well, and last year I was kind of padding them up. I know I'm looking at the two of them, and they're both fighting in the space of a year, and it's great to watch it. Not saying that I'm a coach, but I could imagine from a coaching point of view, it would be very fulfilling to experience that journey with someone from beginner to from novice beginner up to getting in there competing and even going on to win belts. It must be a fantastic feeling for the coach as well.
Oh, definitely, mate, definitely. And with your you've organised with your white collar and that the success of the four man tournament. Have you got any plans to do another show or to do any more promoting in the future?
To be honest, I wouldn't bring it on top of myself again, man. I didn't know what I was letting myself in for, man. I really didn't. Between politics now and I have a passion for, I suppose, for Muay Thai first and foremost, but for giving opportunities to younger fighters. And I'm fortunate enough to have found myself in a position now where I'm working at a gym in Thailand. And my boss shares the same passion as I do, and he entrusts me. I've actually got permission off him to run a fight camp, which I'm running next February for 4 weeks. I'm hoping I've got 3 sponsorship 3 sponsorships available. I've actually given one to Blair. I won't really make any announcement until he announces it himself.
Yeah. Is that Blair Smith?
I'm hoping to have. Blair Smith. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm hoping to have a guest of honour, someone that I'm looking for, an experienced fighter that's been and done the Bangkok thing, and I might look to give away another one at home. But with regards to promoting a show or doing anything like that, no, I'd be happy enough to work with the promoters and leave them do their work. I wouldn't want to tread on anybody's toes, to be honest.
Yeah, sweet. And you did mention that you're working at a gym. Which gym are you working at? And if people want to come and train at your gym, have you got any details, mate?
Yeah, it's Sarinram gym. We're 2.5 hours just outside Bangkok. We're on Facebook. It's SRR Muay Thai. We've got a Kunsuk here, Crew 10, I know him as. I can't think of his full time name now off the top of my head, but he's an Olympic silver medalist from Sydney 2000, Thai Fighter of the Year, 2007, one of the deadliest elbow fighters of all time. I'm going to come off now talking to you, and his full name is going to come into my head. That should have been one of my bullet points, actually, but he's... our Nak Moi here as well are all being trained for the really highest level. They're all fighting in Lumpini and Raj. We've got a team of young fighters here, so it's a great gym for anyone come to. We're based on a farm, which is on a lake. The gym is built on a lake, which is on a farm, so we're a million miles from go-go bars or distractions or any things like that. It's a great place to be. It's a family gym as well, and there's a lot of love, good atmosphere. They really want to take care of you. As soon as you walk through the door, they will take care of you. You know what I mean? Your food is taken care of. And yeah, I've said part 4 of the documentary, we took Mickey here for a camp last year, and he went on and won a 4-man on a one Sunshine promotion. It was a pay-per-view TV 4-man eliminator, and just the quality of training that Mickey got, and that I'm witnessing here every day. It's a really special place. It's a lovely chilled location, and we're always open to fighters if anyone wants to come and contact us. But I'll actually leaving myself here in 3 weeks. I'm going home for 5 months. My daughter needs money for university, so I have to go back to take care of that. But my job is waiting for me when I come back here in November, and as I said, we're running this fight camp on the 18th of February next year, which will run for a month, so we'll have limited places for people that might want to join us on that as well. But I won't make any announcements until it's announced by the powers that be first.
Yeah, no, all good, mate, all good. Now, mate, just before I let you go, I know this cause about bullying and mental health and suicide, it all holds very dear to you. Do you have any parting words of wisdom for people that may be getting bullied, or people that are going through a bit of a rough patch mentally and depression wise?
I suppose it's just to reach out. You know what I mean? I suppose we can keep shit bottled up, man, and it can eat and eat. There's always someone that will listen to you. You know what I mean? And I suppose one of the slogans we had from our original promo was "Tomorrow is a new day." Or whatever it is that's eating you today might go away. I suppose one of the things that I've learned myself from the project, I suppose when I got into the project, I think I spoke to you about this, that I just thought Muay Thai was a quick fix, that anybody that was feeling depressed could just go out to this gym for 2 weeks, or any gym for 2 weeks. And but through the project, and through the lad that I fought myself in Bunbury, we ended up training together. We spoke a bit about post-fight adrenaline dump, which is something that goes on within the sport that a lot of fighters get.
Yep.
Where they've been prepping for a fight for 6 weeks. All of a sudden the fight is over, they might have lost, or they might have even won and think that they performed badly, but it can just leave an empty hole in your life. So there is depression that exists within the sport, and any sport, anything where you're competing and you're trying to give your best. And but I'd say to people within the sport and outside the sport, anyone that's been bullied, I'd recommend contact your local Muay Thai gym. You don't have to be the best in the gym, just go down and walk as head to the best of your ability, and you'll make friends and earn respect that way. And anyone else, I suppose, that's suffering, just reach out, man. Fucking anywhere. We've got a Muay Thai Fight for Life Facebook page. Anybody ever wants to speak to me, man, I'd always lend an ear. Or go, yeah, I suppose, go. Oh, I personally stay clear of doctors and wouldn't recommend. But I suppose each is different. Maybe that might be good for someone else. But basically, yeah, man, just reach out to someone who always does want to listen. And whatever is fucking eating you up inside today could be gone, will be gone. No one thinks back 3 years ago or something that was eating them up, and it's kind of still eating them up today. So yeah, time is a healer, and yeah, man, and someone loves you, man. Someone is always there for you, So yeah, just reach out, man.
Great words there, man. Great words of wisdom. And mate, my last question, just before I love you and leave you, is there anyone you wish to thank or give a shout out to?
This is where I will go after my bullet point to say how much, because I fucking definitely forget someone.
Go for it, mate.
Yeah, firstly, just Anne Long and Stephen Murphy from Shine a Light, man. Like, as I said, like, they've my mental breakdowns ended up fucking in bear and fucking all over Facebook, you know what I mean? I know people are on the outside looking in thinking that this felt fucking nuts, you know what I mean? But their support was unwavering. I think a lot of people as well might have thought, like, Jesus, he's suffering from mental health. He can't run a mental health campaign, which is the stigma that Shine a Light are trying to break, like the stigma around mental health, just because, yeah, but anyway, sorry man, I'm ranting off now,
no,
but
Anne
Long and Stephen Murphy from Shine a Light, the Muay Thai WA community, Gary O'Dean in particular, he supported us right from the start and invited us over onto his show. The Thai boxing pit, Blair come to Bunbury with us, and I suppose he welcomed me and Mickey in as part of the pit family. Roy Wills was happy enough to speak to us on camera about mental health and about his own experience. Philip Connolly and Philip Wall, these were the lads behind the documentary. We've actually had two different production teams. One done episode 1, another done 2 and 3, and the person that done episode 1 is doing 4 again. So Philip Connolly and Philip Wall, Mickey O'Grady and Barry O'Neill. I love the two of them to bits, man. Two better people couldn't have been selected. Not that they were selected; they selected themselves by competing. But two legends, and for going back and have taken the rematch and for putting on such a show. The two boys deserve a lot of credit. And if I am forgetting anyone, Riddler's Jim, Natasha, Collins and James and Kira and Patsy, who put on the white collar night, and I suppose anyone that competed on the white collar night as well, and anyone that I'm forgetting, man, just big love to you all, man.
No worries, mate. Well,
and yourself, Mudzy, for fucking having me on, listening to me, man. Much appreciated.
Well, mate, I was just going to say thank you for actually getting in contact with me, and I really appreciate it, and I'm happy to help spread the word of Muay Thai and any causes where it promotes Muay Thai in a positive way and benefits others, mate. I'm happy to be on board, so thank you for reaching out to me.
To be honest, I kind of got to a stage where I felt like it was a part of my life that I was kind of done, but more for the lads that have put endless hours and days and weeks into making the documentary. I'd like to just get the documentary out there for them. And yeah, as I said, there's a message within the documentary. It's not just a Muay Thai documentary, it's a mental health documentary, and it speaks of mental health and outlets. Maybe someone might look at it and it might help someone. So I suppose I'd like to get the documentary out there as well. Just to credit the work that's gone into it. I had nothing got to do with the editing of the documentary. That's not my field, but it's Deep Red Productions and Orange Handle Productions. I think, get on and give it a watch. You might struggle to understand the Irish accents, but other than that, man, thanks for having me on, Mudzy, and Much appreciated, man.
No worries, dude, mate. Thanks for that, and take care of yourself.
Cheers, brother. Thanks very much.
Thanks, mate.